Five, four, three.
Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and usually with... No, I'm just kidding. I fucked it up again.
Yeah.
Yes. And always with me, my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, you're good. We're laughing because we already started laughing like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the Reel McCoy, you might ask? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we break it down for you, and we turn it all around. We are live on Twitter, Rumble, not Twitter. Dude, what is
going on with you?
Elon wants to turn X back into Twitter again. I don't understand it. You're not on social media, so you don't get it. But
you think you know the reason why, right?
Yeah, I know exactly the reason why. We don't have to share it with the audience. Oh, mama.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are starting a brand new month today, or like all of us, but June especially for me is very special because next week is my birthday. By the way, this today is Tom Connor's birthday. Tom Connor's a friend of the show, yeah, and he has a stream later. So we're gonna redirect all the audience from us to him. Hopefully, he'll still be live because I think he's starting like a little bit after us. Anyway, when starting this birthday month, Mr. Oh My Feelings, except for one movie, he picked all the movies for me or for us, for all of us to watch. One of those movies is a movie that I've never seen before because I'm not a big fan of the horror genre.
And well, technically, there were more than one film that you hadn't seen before until just recently.
No. The whole month is filled with movies that you picked. Yeah. One of them being this movie we're covering today, which is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I've got some gripes with that title, but I'm going to share them in a little bit. Generally speaking, by the way, I was gonna say that I'm not a fan of the genre, the horror genre, but ever since last October, where I kind of forced myself to go deeper into that, I think all my feelings. We had a few talks off, off stream about me getting into more in like the different kinds of, so the subgenres of the horror film.
Horror, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm more open to it. I'm more open to a lot of things these days where I have to get out of my own shell and experience it. By the way, June 1st, 2024 is the first day of Godzilla Minus One being on Netflix. And I've checked it. It is all regions worldwide.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
I
Highly recommend go seeing that.
I expect it to do very, very well. It is a fantastic movie. I've seen it a few weeks back because of, Japanese DVDs out, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You know what? Let's start with our first segment because it's really dull.
It's going to be very short. Yeah.
But very short. It is called Behind the Screens.
Sound production, take 2.
Behind the Screens is where we turn to All My Feelings and get the lowdown on everything that is behind the scenes, production stuff, all that stuff. Take it away, sir.
So really, there's not much behind the screens for this one because there wasn't any major controversies. It was a very small independent film. It was made on a budget of only $5 million. I mean, it was very, very minimal. And yes, we talked about this backstage too. At one point in time, they did utilize. Well, they have the quote unquote Miller Light style can there, just beer. Yeah. And later they actually do reference PBR.
Yes, kind of.
Pass through. No, he gives him literally a can of PBR at the end when he's in
the I know. And they're
sound production, take 2.
Oh, no. Bad. Here we go. Yes. Go on, continue. Please continue.
Really, again, not much controversy. Like really the only good stuff about it is essentially really Alan Tudyk was really the star of the show in this. Of course, Alan Tudyk and Tyler Labine, both Tucker and Dale, really stole the entire film, mostly because Tyler Labine has great comedic timing and Alan Tudyk is able to really ad-lib his ass off.
Damn. All right. We'll say hello to the raid from the Salty Nerd Podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you'll enjoy yourselves because this is a very silly, stupid movie. And I'm saying this with a lot of love. We'll say hello. Let's say hello to Feckless Finn. How are you?
Oh, hi, Finn.
Ciao. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And please enjoy yourselves. All right. Back to the thing. Any more to add? Like, there's nothing?
So really, Alan Tudyk originally, he actually ad-libbed the part when he gets stung by the bees, where he pours the beer on his face to cool himself.
Okay.
He just ad-libbed that. The one thing where it was actually his idea, and then they utilized it in there for when he hits the beehive. To do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre swing around in homage to Texas Chainsaw. Yeah.
I did notice that. And I was like, is that a thing? I think so. Because again, I'm not really big on horror. And the fact that we did cover the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's one of the things that was like, that's got stuck in my mind. It's like, is that homage? And I was like, in my mind, yes, it's probably a homage because that entire cabin is a full-on Evil Dead homage.
Yes.
I like it when it's obvious but not so obvious because they don't put their attention on the details. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Well, there are so many tropes that are inherent in the film that are just twisted.
Yeah,
which is why I think you would like it, because in so many ways you told me how much you enjoyed The Cabin in the Woods, and I'm like, oh well, you'll enjoy this because this is like Cabin in the Woods has more of a horror sci-fi spin.
Mhm.
This has more of the comedic bent on it.
And
Where, to be honest, like, could you not think of like Sam Raimi wrote and directed
oh,
this?
dude,
Yeah.
like I said, because I opened my mind to like going like I've seen Evil Dead before, but not really like deep critical view of it. It really changed a little bit of my perspective, which is a good thing. I like being challenged, and I like the fact that we can like have like an extra appreciation for old things, and then when the new things come, if it's original but it is leaning on the tropes, the stuff that was established as, oh, this is a thing, and you carry that on with something different, a different story, a new story, but has sort of like, oh, it has the member berries without actually having the member berries being like, oh, remember this? Oh, remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
So they take the elements, spin it a little bit, and gave it their own unique take. And then this one's was like a full-on comedy. To
Yeah.
me, this was a
Yeah.
full-on comedy because they laughed at so many different things without pointing the finger and saying, haha, this is it.
That or making it a parody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not a parody, not even a satire. I'm not even sure it was satirical, but the whole I'm going to like forward in the movie, the whole intervention style therapy thing,
Yeah.
which was weird. Was it there? That's a new twist to the whole thing of the final girl trying to solve this like amicably. It's like
Yeah.
that cannot be solved.
We'll
amicably at
discuss it
all.
when we get to that scene, because that in itself is a trope of just basically just I'm getting my bachelor's degree
Yeah, I
in
know.
psychology, and I want to become a therapist.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Anything
So
else?
any other fun stuff is the oddest thing is with the way that it's actually shot. It's shown that Tucker and Dale actively know how to utilize the power tools correctly because they are actually using all proper safety precautions.
Yeah, that's weird. I saw that
Yeah,
too.
it's
I
like, they they went to the extra effort just to make sure they knew exactly what the hell they were doing. It's like, all right.
all right.
Some other things that there's kind of fun. The film was shelved. Well, outside of doing several festival circuits like South by Southwest and stuff, it was shelved for 2 years before it got a very short, limited release in the States.
Really?
Yeah.
So when it says like 2010, was it really shot and ready to go at 2007?
No, it was shot and finished in October of 2009. The full the limited theatrical run was in 2011 in the States.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Apparently, and after that, when it went on Netflix, it did gangbusters on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
They got like
Cool.
peak views on Netflix. Probably because again, you didn't have to go out and see in the theater, and you go, well, I got an afternoon to kill. It's only 82 minutes, really. It's
Well, having
88, but
having seen like Rebel Moon, I completely see how if Netflix could put their like super mega budgets into like these small little cult, I'm not going to say cult following films because you never know what's going to catch with like the aftermarket.
yeah, what's going to become a cult
Put
classic?
in like $10 million to make this silly horror film that is also a little bit of a comedy. It could give them more subscribers than the fucking Rebel Moon, but you never know. You never know.
Which again, we discussed it too, just previously. That's what's so crazy about this movie is it's only had a budget of $5 million.
Yeah,
It's
that's
astronomically low.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The other fun bit is on the DVD/Blu-ray release, there is an entire special feature, which I do own the Blu-ray, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only about, I think it's about 3.5 minutes long, but it's shot in the swapped actual perspective where it's actually shot like a horror film where Tucker and Dale actually are the villains.
Oh, okay.
It's
Is
a shot from the college kid's perspective.
is it like a found footage kind of a thing?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's really cool the way that they did it.
Okay.
The only thing is, uh, we'll talk about certain scenes in there. There was a lot of ad libbing, and there's some certain things to come up on certain points in certain scenes, like as we always talk about. But
Yeah.
the only other thing that's kind of important is the fact that the hat that Dale wears,
Mm,
Giver,
Giver. Yeah.
that was there was a hat that Tyler Labine himself brought on for production.
Okay. I was wondering, I was like, I meant to ask you, does it have any meaning? Because I was like,
Yes.
is it like giver and taker?
No, well, the fact is just the fact that he is so selfless.
Oh, okay, okay. He is a
That,
giver
but
himself.
but also it's kind of a play on, well, it's a Canadian term to giver. It's like almost like getter, like as in Larry the Cable Guy, get her done.
Oh,
So it's a double. There's a double meaning behind it, but the hat just works so well, and they kept it. They said, "Yep, all right, that's
okay.
we're keeping it in
Cool.
production." So
So, the movie starts. It starts off with a kind of a found footage kind of a thing.
yes,
It does, but that's why I asked you if it's a found footage type deal where they did that 3 minute bit of the students thing. That's why I thought about it, because it starts off with this found footage thing, but then it never is mentioned. It's never brought up. I can
oh
put
well, no, it makes
like
sense because
there's no
as soon
blog.
as this cuts off, it says 3 days earlier, and it cuts to the college kids driving, because at the end that's Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before that, you remember when that was the news anchor was at the end when she was the one giving the report outside of there. So basically, they're going back in to try to find more information because the quote unquote killer has not been found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird because he also has that like last stab moment, really, but it goes nowhere. Never mind.
Well, no, this is just trying to say like it's basically they're almost essentially pulling a Tarantino where they're showing the ending of the movie first and then they're cutting it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Again, I didn't really think about that particular moment very, very long because I was. We'll start talking about the movie. One of the things, and this is because I've watched this for the very first time, I have a different perspective, which is great because I kept expecting the evil to show up.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, okay,
Yep.
these. Again, we're going back and forth with the movie. Like as soon as I saw the teenagers start to be offed, or the college kids start to be offed, I was like, when does the evil kind of penetrate the whole thing? Because it's starting to become a real joke. And then halfway through the movie, I was like, yeah, this is the joke. I get it. There's no evil. It's the college kids who are evil. And that's why when Chad kind of had that heel turn, it's like, yeah. Okay.
Well, did he really ever have a heel turn? Because he was pretty much a prick the entire time.
He was pretty much a dickhead from the start. Let's face it.
Yeah.
He wasn't and the fact that he was called Chad, I had to keep reminding myself this is 2010. This is not really in the lexicon just yet.
It's still Chef's Kiss, though. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
so good. It's like, you tell me, was this thing such a had a big cultural impact at the time that Chad literally became the Chad that we know him today?
No, it was just it's circumstance. That's all it is. It's a happy coincidence.
A happy little accident, as Bob Ross would have said.
One thing I will have to say though is before we get to the last chance gas, which this we're going to talk about this scene because I love it so much because there's so many fucking horror homages in there. It's fantastic.
Keep going.
But when they're driving, the one thing that I do that obviously it's a plot contrivance that was clearly written for this to make it seem even more like get it because they're dumb college kids.
Yep.
One of them says, "We forgot the beer." Would never happen. No,
I was
never,
thinking the same thing. That
never.
would never happen. Like you can like forget your weed. You can forget like
No,
map
not the
road
weed. No, I mean like no. We could forget the clothes, we could forget food, but they would not forget the booze or the weed.
Yeah, no fucking way.
No
I was like,
fucking way.
and this is where immediately my brain was like, is this the evil that they were talking about? That there's no beer? But no, as soon as they stop at the last chance gas, I was like, okay. It's a plot point to get them to stop at the gas station where the local yokel is gonna tell them to be aware of blah blah blah, right?
Well, which is so odd because that's even subverted later. But yeah. Anyway, so
No. Yeah, go ahead.
when they get to the store, when they first pull in, God, I love the near deliverance reference.
Yes, I was
With the
gonna
kid, the
say.
kid at the water pump, instead of playing guitar, he's at the water pump. And then all of them actually, when they go inside, they're all looking at them because they look completely out of sorts. Not that they're trying to be menacing. It's like,
No,
what the
it's
hell are
when
you doing here?
it's when Chad and the other chick, Stacy or whatever his name, Jesse. No, Jesse's the name of the actress. Dude,
You talking about
I
Chloe?
have no idea what the name of the college kids is.
Okay, well, I
No
know
idea.
them all. So Katrina Bowden, she plays Allison. Allison is our final girl, or quote
Yeah,
unquote final girl. Which actually, really, if you think about it, Tyler Labine is kind of our final girl. Dale's kind of our final girl in a way.
kind of.
But
But
the
yeah,
other one is Chelsea Simmons is Chloe, and the other actress is Naomi.
okay.
Christina Liang. Yeah.
I was trying to stall to get this particular image. That's the image where I was like, oh, Deliverance. Okay, that's an homage for Deliverance. Okay, keep going. Let's see. This is interesting.
And it's still the whole backwater woods kind of thing where they're all kind of skeeved out by each other.
Yeah. And there's like animal heads and all that stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. They're trying to like freak out the college kids, but you would expect this from a store
Or like
that is
out in the middle
out
of in
there.
the fucking woods. I mean, like this is, if anything, they're not trying to freak anybody out. They're just wondering what the hell are these kids doing here, and everything in the shop is like, this is what you would need. And hey, we got this new 10-point buck deer fucking head mount that you can buy if you want it.
I mean, it is localized. It literally says the Appalachian Mountains and that sort of thing. It's like, okay, I know where it is in the country. I know what I expect of the local population.
So funny is this is all in Canada.
What?
Yeah.
Did they actually build the set or?
Yeah, it was all shot in Canada.
Okay. Then okay, that's funny.
So we do have that local shop scene where it's definitely that there's that dichotomy there where there's immediately that preconceived notion where they're all spooked.
Yeah.
And Chad's already an asshole because for some odd reason he already had a preconceived notion against hillbillies where it's like, dude, where'd you get that? And then kind of makes sense later in retrospect.
It makes sense later. It does. But
that's
in the meantime, we don't know this information yet. So
But then we have Tucker talking Dale up. And it's like, just go talk to her, man. And he's like, just go over there. And why would you walk over there with a scythe, Dale? Why would you do that? It's like, whatever you do, just laugh.
just
you guys going camping?
Now the thing is, he goes out there with this sickle, a scythe. Sorry,
yeah.
This scythe, this metal scythe that he literally probably built himself for gardening, because he does say they're like, these guys are the people who we would go gardening for.
No, because it's like, well, no, they've got houses that they looked at him because I'm probably the one that they were cleaning their toilet.
Yeah, and the thing is, he comes in with this scythe and was like, "How are you doing?
You guys going camping?" And Freak's like, "That's a nice looking cooler."
And you have to understand, You have to understand the only thing on my mind at this point was like, okay, he's going to fail big time. I just want to see what the college kids react to. But
Yeah.
that's not on my mind. The fact that he took a full, and I do mean full pickled egg jar.
Sure.
And when they have that scene on the outside, it is literally 2/3 empty already.
Yeah.
I was like,
Apparently got
you're eating a lot of eggs.
Yeah. But after the line, there's one time he turns around and goes, Tucker, I told you it wouldn't work. They hate my face.
Yeah.
Tyler Labine totally ad-libbed that line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They hate my face.
I told you this many times in the past. If the ad lib works and they keep it in, it could create like a magical thing to the movie. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that particular line was like anything like incredible or ingenuitive, but it does help with the authenticity of that particular moment. And I like those little moments in the movie, whether I know it's ad-libbed or not. If they fit, they keep it in, and it's within the context of the movie, it just works, then it works for a reason.
Yes. Yeah.
I love the fact that like Tucker is a real, like, you have a notion, and this is what the college kids actually expect. You have a notion of what hillbillies are supposed to be like. It's supposed to, yokels, pretty simple-minded, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like both Tucker and Dale have their, like, they're regular people. Like, they're regular people. They're even, let's say, they're not poor at all. They just seem poor.
Well, they seem that they're probably lower to lower middle class, which is like, that's not a condemnation. It's just with the way that they live. That's
no. I mean, the fact that Tucker actually manages to have a second home. To me, that was the funny.
Well, we're going to talk about the quote unquote vacation home in a second.
Well, dude, it's a vacation home. That's a second home. It's like a summertime house or whatever. It's like,
yeah, but it was clear. It was clearly the site of that massacre that gets mentioned in a little bit. But anyway, during the drive scene that they have the
cop. I like the bit with the cop.
The fake blowjob bit was just
fucking,
that was hilarious. And the way that his shirt was tucked in, so they actually made it clear the only reason why he had to get up and appear shirtless was because his button was attached there, so he had to basically break his shirt open.
Yeah.
And there's also typically like just basically subverting horror tropes. Like, it's the sheriff that warns them. It's like, nothing good comes out of there. You shouldn't be going there.
Yeah, and this is the warning I expected to be at the gas station, because the trope is the college kids get to the gas station or somewhere, and then they get a warning from the local, proprietor of the shop, right?
It was like, you're doomed. You're all doomed.
Exactly. I was expecting that, but nothing happened. So I was like, that's interesting.
Well, and also they're like, what Tucker says to the cop after Dale pops up. He's been striking out with the ladies, so I think some alone man time might do him good.
Dude, it's so good, man. It's very dull and stupid humor, but it's when you're watching this movie and you're expecting something and you get subverted without having it be, again, with a big sign, this is a subversion of your expectation. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's cool. I want to see what happens next. Yeah. And that kind of led you through the movie. And we did we mention it backstage? It's an 82-minute movie.
Yeah, it's 88 soup to nuts. That's including credits, but runtime is about 82 minutes and 30 seconds or so. Like, it's very fast, and yeah, I mean, on a budget that low to make something that was, it's a fun watch.
And it's not a slog. It's a fun.
Oh yeah,
fun 82, maybe 85. Well, depending on how you check it, but it's a fun little watch, and you're being engaged every single time.
Mhm.
And I want to mention the score. The score is literally pushing you towards corners where it's so
It's so great.
obvious.
Yeah.
It's so obvious
so
where
good.
what you're supposed to do. And again, it's not like this mega composer, blah blah blah. I didn't even check who it is, but he knew what he was doing when it combined the director or whatever that combined that score with those particular moments in the movie that you were like, okay, we're preparing you for something. And then it happened, but then it got twisted a little bit because you're working on the tropes, but you're changing it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So,
So we get them arriving at the cabin, which is like, oh, that's a real fixer-upper. And Dale walks in. It's like a mansion.
yes, mansion.
And then they're looking around at all like the clear clippings that the serial killer put out on there, the fucking like the bone sculptures and everything, and the trap with the pillar trap.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that
And I
the
was like,
sheriff later.
okay.
He goes like, "Oh, look at him! He must have been an archaeologist."
Yeah, an archaeologist?
That's what Tucker says, and Dale can't even pronounce like an arca. Yeah.
And I was like, an archaeologist? And to me, this is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead. This is like, okay, be careful. The serial killer is out there in the woods. I'm guessing. And at this, like I said, at this point, I was like, okay, we got the college kids. So it's like a bait. We reeled it in. But in fact, it's going to be the Tucker and Dale story in the cabin in the woods. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit turned on its head because immediately after this, we get to see the camping scene, right?
Yeah. It was Chad who tells the story of the Memorial Day Massacre.
Yes. Which, to me, again, I was like on the back foot where it's like, where is this thing going? Because A, you got the tropes a little bit mixed up. B, we see the college kids and we still see them later. So it's not going to be the Tucker and Dale story. So where does the evil come in? Again, this is the question that I asked through the first half of the movie. Where does the evil come in here at one point? And when he tells the story, I was like, okay. So my thought was like, okay, the two guys at the massacre are going to be facing off versus Tucker and Dale. I'm guessing. Never happens.
Nope.
Never happens. Sort of like a setup that doesn't really pay off because that's what the movie is pointing you at. And it's the entire movie is pointing you at this trope, and you're waiting for the payoff because you've seen this trope before, and then it happens, but not really does happen the way you think it does.
Well, again, it's all about subverting your expectations. Where again, what you would think who's going to be the final girl and Chad were going to be the last ones that were going to survive, and at the end, like typically, if anything that would be similar in this vein, you'd think specifically one that just runs off of the top of my head is Wrong Turn. Because Wrong Turn is basically this, but hillbilly cannibals out in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and they basically get hunted down.
And the first inkling after the whole story ends, because we see it's sort of like a flashback, or not a flashback, it's sort of like we see the massacre, just to give us an idea. And I think the massacre was the only trope that was like sort of like what you would expect happen actually does happen, and then the story ends with this sort of like a hit and back to the present.
Correct.
But then we got our first inkling on how assholish Chad is.
Chad, what a dickhead. Oh, Jesus.
And immediately I was like, this guy's going to die first, right? Because that's what I was thinking. It's like this guy is gonna die first because he tried to go with this girl who seemingly is the final girl. Because immediately you're like, okay, this
Oh, she
girl
has
is the final girl,
huge final girl energy. Yeah.
and the other girl is like, this bitch is gonna die.
Chloe, the one in the like. Well, even Naomi says like, "Why'd you run out? Why'd you bring stripper shoes?" When they're like, "Well, what, we're gonna run 40 miles?" Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like later in the movie, but it's sort of like you get the energy from the cast sort of right immediately. And the only trope that didn't actually happen was the black guy died first.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
like, okay, the black dude didn't die first. So that's where I started to think of, okay, they're trying to do something else here, but I'm really waiting for that like demon to show up at some point. That's what I was thinking. All right, so Chad is being an asshole to Allison.
Mhm.
And
And what's weird too is they're after the murder story, all the kids just go, "Let's go skinny dipping."
yeah. Okay, back to the old tropes. And
Tropes,
then
yeah.
what they encounter is literally Tucker and Dale.
Dale. And Tucker and Dale too. Tucker. This is kind of like the ongoing setup and payoff of
Yeah, with
Dale
the beer.
becoming more confident and everything. Where he tries to go for the beer again, he slaps Edgar like, "No, I told you not to first, though."
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's got like conflicting messages. Dale does, and he doesn't know what to do. So he tries to do something, but he's like, "I told you not to."
And it
That's the
scans
last
over
thing I said.
to Allison. She's just down to her bra and panties, and Dale covers his eyes.
Yeah, because he's not supposed to see it, and then they
Well, and
scare
also
her.
the one the two were when they're out there fishing and everything, and they see the kids in the water. Tucker goes, "Wait, do you see what's over there? Well, we shouldn't go over there. Well, I kind of want to see them."
I kind of want to see him. And of course, Allison falls into the water. They scare her. Allison falls into the water. They think she just fell, and then there's like, oh, she's not coming up. So they save her, and the kids.
Well, this is a setup and payoff too, because this sets up the entire sequence of events.
Yeah, because what Tucker and Dale want is to get her out and take her to the college kids, right?
But all the
That's
college
the
kids run
point.
away because they're like, "Oh my god, they got her."
Yeah. And
Well,
so,
and also just as an aside, when they're on the boat,
mm,
there's a clear homage to an actor.
tell me. Oh,
Hey, lady.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course the other like the other kids go and get Chad, which Chad didn't take off his clothes, which was supposed to tip me off immediately, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It was supposed to tip me off that, okay, he's the final guy, not the first guy to die. And Dale takes her in, and the guys, the college kids, do discover the cabin in the morning, right? So the college kids discover the cabin, but they're like, we don't know what to do. These hillbillies are like, they're gonna kill her, or they have killed her, blah blah blah. And of course, Allison wakes up
you, but can't hear you
again. It's on your end. I'm gonna talk. And as soon as you hear me, you let me know, because it's on your end. It's on you. So the college kids find the house, and they're like milling about on how and what to get, like how to get into the house, or how to save Allison, because we don't know what's going on.
They also have, just before that too, is the Jangles waking Allison up, and then the whole thing, like when she's so confused, pancakes.
Yeah, that's my whole deal. That's to me, that's where I was again not sure where this movie was taking me, because I understand. First of all, you understand immediately that Dale doesn't want to hurt her. So him bringing her pancakes and then bring her bacon and eggs because she didn't want the pancakes, evidently, because she didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, right? Her like that whole back and forth was, to me, is like, okay, this is a misunderstanding. They're gonna figure it out, and then either the college kids are gonna join them and fight the evil, or I don't know where this is going, right? But
Yes, sir.
this is what this movie does. It's very simple, but very smart. But it's supremely stupid.
And we also get to see the goodest boy, Jangles.
Oh, yes, yeah, Jangles.
God love Jangles.
Yeah.
Then also just I do believe it was it Chuck who says it? I think it's Chuck. It was like, I don't know, but when they grabbed her, I think they were eating her face off.
Yeah. What?
What?
It's the whole thing is, and again, that's the trope on the college kid sides, is the fact that somebody told like a scary story, and now they're just seeing things.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they convinced the guy from Mitchell Parts. Now, I'm not a big guy, like a big horror guy. I said it numerous times. Does this shirt have any meaning? I have a note here that says, check with all my feelings. Is the Mitchell Parts shirt a trope from something else?
No. His name is actually just Mitch, and he works in the parts department
Okay.
of the store. He's actually wearing his work shirt.
Yeah, which is odd. Like I said, it was so odd because the other college kids like have regular shirts, and he has a work shirt.
They must have picked him up off of his shift when he ended his shift, when they decided to go on the vacation and he didn't have time to change or something. I don't know, but no, that's just his. No, his name was just Mitch. That's all. And also, he has one of the better lines too, where some of the college kids are actually kind of intuitive, like Mitch was. We're like, do you guys think this is just all just one big misunderstanding?
Yeah, and
even later, the sheriff goes, yeah, I think this is probably just a bit of miscommunication, until he gets there and brings the half body of Todd out of the wood chipper.
Yeah. And this is where you have the homage to the whole chainsaw above the head thing, where Tucker is just trying to clear out woods, and he hits this giant bee's nest, and he's just trying to. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I wouldn't use my chainsaw.
You would have put the chainsaw down
and then try to do this.
Yeah, and try to run away.
Yeah, which didn't quite work well for Mitch. But even there was a certain point where Tucker was running away, and Mitch was running like literally beside him,
side by side, and he looks over, and Mitch is just like, why are you running past me? And Tucker's just like, what the hell are you doing here, kid?
Yeah. And this whole exchange was like, okay, this is weird. What is happening over here? What the hell is happening over here? And then, of course, the kid, like, Tucker continues on, and the kid gets impaled, we'll call it,
on the branch. And then he sees what the hell Tucker was going for. It's like, oh, because a bee flies and lands right on his nose. It's like, oh shit.
I died for nothing.
Yep.
And this kind of starts this whole chain of events where there's a miscommunication between Tucker and Dale and the college kids, where the college kids think these are murderous hillbillies, and Tucker and Dale think, oh, these college kids are out of their goddamn mind.
I think they formed some kind of suicide pact.
Like, what? How did you get to that? Like, at first, because what they think was, they think, well, your like friends are gonna come pick you up.
Yep.
And they even leave a note that like,
we got your friend. And I love the way that Dale misspelled it too.
Yeah, we've got your friend.
No, he misspelled friend as well.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that.
And what's hilarious too is in this is just an aside. It's a weird thing. Some of the credits are actually misspelled too.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't even see
Yeah.
look, dude. You know what day I had
I know. I'm just saying
IRL?
it's out there. It's
So
out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's it wasn't fun, and we get to. I want to get to the point where he spills the beer on his face, just because it's a fun little image. But never mind.
Well, that in the interim we have Allison and Dale, which is great because we have another setup and payoff of how Dale's mind kind of works.
Yes, yes, because when they entered the cabin at first, they had these board games, and Dale's looking at them, and you don't really see what game it actually is, but it says, it's got my favorite. And when Allison kind of gets waken up and they start to actually talk, Dale says, "Well, we have board games until your friends come back." And Allison's like, "Oh, cool. What games do we have?" So he picks up his favorite, and he says, "This my favorite is like Trivial Pursuit," right?
Yeah.
And I like it. Kind of not dawned on me that Trivial Pursuit, you're supposed to know a lot of things. I'm not sure how Dale the hillbilly knows about anything. And then they sit down, and that's exactly what they wanted you to think. And Dale even says it, like, I'm stupid. He says it, I'm stupid.
No, just like
No,
I
I have
barely
a gift.
passed the third grade. And,
Yeah, I have a gift. I remember like everything. And Allison says, "Well, that means you're kind of smart." And he's like, "Nah, I didn't pass the third grade." Like, and she says, "There's a difference between intelligence and what was it? Something like learned or intelligence, something like that. Learning something or being intelligent." And it really doesn't matter, but it just gives you a juxtaposition between what you think you know and what you actually know, or what you learned know, and what is intuitively inherent and what you can pick up as you walk through life.
Yes.
The whole point is the fact that Dale acts stupid, but he's actually pretty smart.
Yes. Well, that too, and to be fair, Tucker is as well, because there are some quips that they gave Alan Tudyk to say. Some of them were ad libbed, but most of them were actually in the script. Tucker is actually pretty quick.
Tucker's pretty quick.
Yeah.
They're both like not what they seem to be. And
yes.
this is exactly, again, this is the juxtaposition of what the college kids. We are the college kids at this point in terms of viewers. We think that these are like dumb hicks, and like the college kids think they are. But actually, when you get down to it, they're like regular people.
Yeah, they're just
with weird accents.
But I love the line too when Tucker comes back. He says, "I saw your friend out there. He must have been allergic to bees or something, because he was running like a bat out of hell."
And then, of course, Allison helps while they wait their friends to come and pick her up. Apparently,
well, they do have the kid. They go out and they leave the note for them.
Yeah, like I said.
Chad's spiraling further into fucking madness. But Tucker calling out because his face is so stung. He sounds even more ominous and like a stereotype. Hey, college kids.
Yeah. And again, that harkens my kind of thing into going into Deliverance. It's like these college kids, if they hear this, they're gonna either run away or do something crazy.
Yeah.
And then they decide to do something fucking crazy, which is having pointed sticks and ready to go. And
they have the Tucker is just working on the wood chipper, and Dale is singing by himself. "I'm glad I got my cootie shot because she's really cute." It's adorable.
And
but he's taking just an outhouse, and Allison comes to help him.
You mean a shitter?
You mean Yeah, and but one of the girls just I can't believe no I think it was one of the guys. Pops was like, "Oh my god, they're making her dig her own grave."
I think even Chad says it. One of them says it. It was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, they're so horrible. They're making her dig her own grave. It's like, okay, I get where the confusion is coming from. I want to see how things unfold. And again, at this point, I was like, what about those demons?
Yeah.
Where are those demons coming? And then
Because all I know, Meth, you're thinking they're going, okay, so where's the Necronomicon?
exactly, I was like,
Who's gonna read it?
Where's the basement with the fucking hellhounds? What the fuck is going on? And we've got these college kids attacking Tucker and Dale, and this guy's impaling himself, right?
The second self-impalement, and also the setup and payoff of the fact that how Allison keeps getting hit in the head and knocked out. And
Yeah.
at the end is like, you should really get her a helmet.
Yeah.
And he does it.
And he gets her a helmet. Which is like, I love these little setups and payoffs because they're so fucking out there.
Yeah.
With this silly little comedy, it was like, oh, this is fucking cute. I would watch this thing with my kids if there's wasn't a lot of blood and killing in it because it's really silly. And then I was like thinking, yeah, I would watch this with my kids and they won't understand the killing and everything, and they might even be scared of it, but they don't understand the tropes.
Yeah, they wouldn't get it. Yeah.
This is like something for the summary I want to talk about. But yeah, so Allison gets knocked out. The kid gets killed. The guy who has a army Swiss knife tries to attack Tucker and gets himself in the wood chipper.
He jumps like right into it. And you know, the first time I watched it, I was just like, oh my God, it's Fargo.
Yeah, I was like, the same thing. I can't really show that. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
like,
and then poor Chloe, the girl in the stripper shoes, just gets sprayed by the viscera.
Yeah, it's stupid. I think she gets sprayed. She gets sprayed with the wood chipper thing. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it comes a little bit later. I don't remember when.
No, because that should be right there because that's right before
the for helping us. Back. Oh yeah. She does. Yeah, she does.
Yep.
Okay. So
they have this scene where Chad just goes full mental breakdown. A few tiny murders and everyone freaks out.
Yeah. Excuse me, Chad?
It's like, you don't get it. This is how we get to be free. What?
All right. So the thing is this. We have to do our first game of the night, but I want to mention one thing. So before they start the attack, they actually send the guy, I don't remember his name. He was the driver of their car.
Chuck,
which is his dad's car. And he's like, I'm not letting anybody drive this thing. So what they do is he's the one that is going to get the cops because he's the only guy who can drive the car. The thing is, the only thing I saw that was worth noting, and you probably have this in your note, is the fact that
when he ran away, he fell over.
And they kept it in the scene. But as he falls over, it cuts away to Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
And when I read that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna rewatch that little bit. And yeah, he trips. It's not like he falls, but he
trips over a branch
and then it cuts away.
Yeah.
But it's so in the background. If you're not noticing it, you will not notice it. And that's probably why they kept it in, because they just, cut, print, move on.
And also it's a good side gag as well, because it doesn't really affect the scene. It also kind of makes him look like a bumbling idiot anyway. So even if it was done on purpose, it would make sense.
Yeah,
but no, it was just an accident.
It's a fun little tidbit to have in your, like, okay, this is something that happened during the shoot. Again, it's not a biggie. if you actually rewatch this and you're looking for that specific moment, you'll probably find it, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is a little bit late because we're having so much fun. We're going to play our first game of the night, and it is called Missing. Sorry, the beer came up. Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee for the uninitiated is where we take 10 posters of movies, have their text written off, we display them, and oh my feelings will have to guess which movie this is. And we will go there and there.
District 9?
District 9 is correct. Chat participation is most welcome.
This is Dumb and Dumber.
Not exactly.
Or is it Dumb and Dumberer?
Dumb and Dumber
2? Yeah.
But it's spelled T-O.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Tango and Cash.
That is not Tango and Cash because there's a dog in it.
No,
Plus,
but it has the buddy kind of name, though, but I can't remember the name of it now.
It doesn't have the buddy cop name.
No, I don't remember it.
Okay. So this movie came out really close to a different
Jim Belushi, right?
That is Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
This movie came out sort of at the same year that a different movie came out, which is another sort of buddy cop, but with the other cop as a dog, Turner and Hooch.
Hooch. Okay.
Starring Tom Hanks and a dog. This one has the similar plot line. It's one of those movies where like Snow White and the Huntsman and Snow White came out the same year. Armageddon and Deep Impact.
Yeah.
Same year. This is one of those movies. Paul Harley has got it.
K9.
Is K9.
Wow. That's so dumb. Oh, that is so dumb. I'm glad I've never seen it.
Oh, it's great.
Is that the Lake House?
Lake House is correct.
No, I know this. It's a 60s sci-fi TV show. Lost in Space?
Sorry?
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space is correct.
Yeah. That's this Mad Max Fury Road.
Correct.
It's not.
The answer to the question is yes, this is Walter Matthau.
Yes.
The name of the other guy, I don't know, but it's a French actor.
It's not the Pirates of Penzance.
It's not a Pirates of Penzance, but it's very close to the title you've said. I absolutely love this movie, and I haven't seen it in a long, long time.
It's not Treasure Island.
This movie, it's not Treasure Island. This movie made me fall in love with anything to do with pirates. After this, I had lots of like pirate Lego and lots of stuff when I was a kid.
Is Paul correct on that? Blackbeard?
It is not Blackbeard.
No.
This is called Pirates.
Oh, just Pirates.
Simple Pirates. Yes.
Not seen that.
It is.
I'll have to get that of you.
It is. It doesn't hold up till today, but it's a very good pirate movie. A very good pirate movie. Next. I can't really punch into this because he's not really naked, but he's naked enough. So I can't really punch in. You don't see anything. This is Ava Green. The other two guys, I don't remember the name of. Yes. This movie made her like famous.
I probably have not seen it, but given Ava Green, she's probably naked in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very
pretty much. That's pretty much what Ava Green's known for. Like if she's in a movie, she's probably nude.
Yes. All right. This is called The Dreamers.
Dreamers. No, I've never seen it.
It's an indie film, and she's very naked in it.
Is that just the first Zombieland?
Zombieland is correct.
Oh no, I've seen this once and it was so awful.
It is awful. It is so awful.
I do not remember the name of it. No, I know I don't.
This is one of those Eddie Murphy movies that he made past a certain point where it's like,
Because
oh,
this
Eddie.
was this after the Nutty Professors, where
This
he
after the Nutty Professors. This is
'cause,
like
like
2002. This is after Bowfinger, I think.
because this was before he did Norbit, and I think Norbit was where he kind of stopped.
Before he did Norbit, yes.
But I know he's some kind of spiritual guru, but I can't remember the
Correct.
name of the movie.
And the title is
Like the Prophet, the Enigma, something.
it's called Holy Man.
Holy man, yeah.
It's called Holy Man.
Yeah.
It's sort of,
Wouldn't recommend it for a watch anyway, so it doesn't really
you know
matter.
what? If you've seen the Mike Myers Guru movie, I don't remember.
No, oh God, no! Don't give me PTSD flashbacks of that. Oh, please no.
It's actually, Holy Man is even worse than the Mike Myers Guru movie.
I don't know how that's possible.
It is very much possible. It is that bad. It is that bad. I'm not even joking.
The Love Guru. Ugh, God, that movie's so bad.
Love Guru.
I don't know what Mike Myers was thinking.
TM. And the movie is like dumber. Like it's really bad. It's really bad.
Worse than the third Austin Powers
It's
film.
Mariska Hargitay bad. Okay?
That's even being kind of mean to Mariska Hargitay.
Paul is like, it's not that bad. It's
No,
not.
I said it's that bad. It is that bad. It is that bad. Agree
No,
with Paul,
I mean,
100%.
Holy Man is even worse. I'm telling you, it's really bad, and I've seen it once. By the way, I've seen Love Guru once. It's done.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't. Who else was in that?
Who else was in what? Love Guru? I don't remember. So anyway,
I know. Well, I know the main protagonist. He was an African American hockey goalie, but the actor who played him was in Weeds. That's where I really remember him from.
the guy who the Love Guru is trying to help is the same guy who played the black dude in.
Oh yeah, no, he was in the 40-Year-Old
40-Year-Old
Virgin.
Virgin.
Yeah, he was his friend. Yeah,
And
yeah,
in 40-Year-Old Virgin, he is fucking funny as hell.
Yeah.
Right. So the college kids get the cop. The cop actually shows up. Tucker and Dale tried to pull out this college kid from the wood chipper. Because he's stuck real bad.
Yes. Look, God, I hope they don't charge me for this. Tucker has these again. They gave Alan Tudyk these great little lines, and this was one line that was an ad lib when they're pulling him like he's heavy for half a guy.
Heavy for half a guy. I was like, holy shit, that is very morbid. And of course, as the cop comes in, and it's the same cop who warned them to not go to the cabin.
Well, and what's funny too is the fact that again set up and payoff because Tucker and Dale are in there and they had the conversation before and like, so what? We got to call the cops and like whatever it looks like back there, it does not look good. No,
yeah, it does not look.
He's gonna
good.
think that we're gonna think that he's a moron.
Yeah,
and there's something what the sheriff says too, like you must think I'm some kind of moron.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, all the kids are in the cop's car, and we didn't talk about the setup and payoff with that lamp with the post, right?
No, it comes up right after this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me set this up. If you haven't seen the movie, shame on you. You should go see it. It's fucking funny. The thing is, as they go into this mansion, quote unquote, they Tucker, I think it was Tucker who leans on this post and it kind of falls apart, and this with big nails coming down from the ceiling, and they're both like, yeah, we need to like take care of this, but they never take care of that. So as the cop comes in to check out this cabin, right, he leans on this.
Well, because he even tells him, like, well, boy, what you're looking at there, because he checks it. Well, because Dale, being an idiot, goes, yeah, and it's also like the girl that I got back there. Well, I knocked her out with a shovel.
Yeah, I knocked her out with a shovel.
I got her in the bedroom.
And the cop comes in to check what girl they're talking about. As they walk in, he walks in, takes care of the
No.
pool.
He inspects Allison, and Allison was just knocked out. He goes, "Well, it's no brain damage, so she's going to be fine." And he gets, "Well, boys, I'm sorry. It looks like anything here. It looks like it's probably 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter."
And this is like, the hell you say? So you're like, okay, I get it. What's going to happen next? And as soon as he leans on the thing and the nails come in through his head, I was like,
"Oh no! Oh no!"
I had up to this point, like I said, halfway through the movie, I had a thought, maybe it's the cop who's like turns out to be this evil dude. And as soon as he gets this nail through his head and dies, I'm like, what the hell is going on with this movie?
Well, there's a great line. There's a fantastic line, and he's stumbling outside of the cabin. I think it's Dale who says this. He goes like, "Oh, look, no, look, it looks like he's gonna walk it off."
He's gonna walk it off.
And he tries to do the radio dispatch, but
Yeah,
it just keels over.
And then keels over. And of course, which is Chuck, the guy with the car.
Chuck, yeah. So Chuck is the one who gets the gun.
Car. He takes the gun and he points it at Tucker and Dale, and
he tries to shoot. And Dale goes, "No, you gotta turn the safety off."
Yeah, gotta turn the safety off. And the guy turns the gun to his head and turns the safety off and blasts his own head.
And at that point in time, wouldn't the people in the back seat kind of realize that things are a little bit fishy? It's like, we just saw basically our friend accidentally kill himself.
Yeah. And
maybe this is messed up.
And the thing is, what happens next is literally Chad going completely apeshit and blaming everything on Tucker and Dale. So he picks up the gun and starts fucking blasting.
And the cop must have had also a shitload of bullets on him.
A shitload of. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So they don't see him reload, but he shoots, and then it kind of runs over. And Tucker and Dale are both like trying to stay off the bullets, and he keeps shooting at them. So it's like, okay, he obviously reloaded.
Yeah, and then they have that tete-a-tete too. Where they're trying to blame each other, and Dick goes, "I don't even like fishing."
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Did I hurt your feelings? Yeah, a little bit.
And of course, Tucker is immediately has that little thing where you see him doing the whole Evil Dead thing. I immediately went to Evil Dead, as in build the makeshift kind of chainsaw hand, but then he gives them this gun. It's like, okay, use this to keep me covered so I can free the dog, because Chad.
Well, and you know Chad's a fucking asshole because he would have shot the dog. Jangles didn't do nothing to hurt nobody.
Nope. And this is where I was like, okay. The evil is as soon as Chad put in the gun at the dog, and what happened with the cop, it was like, okay, the cop is not the evil, so the evil is the college kids, because they have to be the college kids at this point.
Yep.
And this is where everything kind of turns on me. Oh, I get it. They got me. Okay, let's see how this thing ends. Yeah. That's the point where I was like, okay. They got me. I understand. I get the signals. Okay, this is the college kids versus Tucker and Dale. Let's see who prevails. I'm guessing from the title of the movie.
Yeah,
this is how it goes. So
that, and also like half of the college kids are already dead at this point.
And I love the fact that like Tucker gives Dale the gun, and he keeps like give me cover, and he like twitches and he shoots this nail.
Goddamn huge.
And Tucker's like, just remember not to shoot me.
Yeah, just please don't try not to shoot me.
Shoot me.
Tucker's already having a pretty goddamn bad day at this
Yeah.
point, and Tucker gets the worst out of all of it, to be honest. Besides
Yeah.
actually dying, yeah, he gets the worst of it.
Yeah,
But
he's got like bees stinging him, his fingers cutting
it
off,
cut off in a bit, yeah.
and he had another Alan Tudyk moment where something he's driving at. I know he didn't drive, but it's something he's sitting at getting rammed with something, and he didn't even have a chance to say, "I'm a leaf
A leaf on the wind. Thank you. Yes, Serenity.
Oh my God! The
There
man
it
is
is.
typecast. No, no, Alan, no, please.
So
Oh
we
my
do have one
God.
bit in the interim though, when Tucker is trying to sneak up to him, his quote unquote camouflage, where he just grabs a.
He's using a branch. I was like,
It's so fucking Looney Tunes esque. It's fantastic.
oh, I have to find it and show it. It's so goddamn ridiculous. As Tucker is literally trying to get the dog. He walks off. That's the point where he's running away. There. He's like, this little branch will hide me from them. He walks out of the house with a fucking branch. I couldn't believe it. I literally laughed out loud while watching this. This is insanely crazy. It became so comical, like physically comical. It's like, oh, please, come on. Oh, but I laughed.
So then we have.
It made me laugh.
Tucker does and freeing Jangles, and he goes like, "Stupid dog, you're running the wrong way." And he looks up, and all the kids are right in front of him. He's like, "Nice day for a run."
And then, of course, they string him up, and
we got the line that I told you backstage. Listen, if you let me go, I've got 10 to 12 beers on ice. They're all yours.
This is a great moment. And then, of course, Chad even says, "We're going to use you as bait."
Yeah.
And then he cuts it off. Now, again, because this is the first time I watched this movie, I was like, "Oh, did he cut off his?" I immediately went for the hand.
Yep,
I didn't think he would kill him to make him bait. I was like, immediately, I was like, okay, he's gonna cut off his hand because we already had that Evil Dead moment. He might even actually use the chainsaw hand kind of a thing, like an Evil Dead. Nope, 2 fingers.
Yep.
They even throw it at Dale at the cabin.
And then also what Allison and Dale, like, because Allison finally wakes up, and Dale's basically he breaks down, and Allison basically picks him back up.
Yeah.
And he sends Allison out there to get the note.
Yes.
And then he's like, "What is it?" She's like, "I don't want to touch it." Opens it up to 2 fingers, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's his bowling fingers."
Yeah, it's his bowing fingers.
Bowling, yeah.
He said bowling? I thought bowing.
Yeah.
Bow.
No, bowling, because bowling pays off at the end.
Oh,
Because they're part of the same bowling team.
I thought he said bowing.
As bowling, yeah.
He's hunting. He's using a bow because he's fishing. This is my mind. It's like, okay, this is Appalachia. I'm getting.
No, I completely get where you got that
all
from.
that stuff.
Because it would make sense if it was bowling, but no, it was bowling because they were part of the same bowling team, bowling league. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Well, we need to like a little bit speeding up because yeah. So Dale goes out, gets Tucker. Tucker even says, "It's a trap. It's a trap." And then
the spear flies through in between his crotch, and he looks at it and goes like, "For once I thought I'd never say this. I'm glad I'm not hung like a bear." And they both
and I bawled out laughing. Like,
And then
audibly
Dale still,
laughing.
well, sorry, Tucker's still hung up, sitting go like, "This vacation sucks."
This vacation sucks. Which it's so fucking funny because that reminded me, yeah, the people going out to the cabin in the woods are the good guys in the story.
Yeah,
The evil are the
it's their vacation
outside
home.
coming in. That's the trope. That's the whole horror movie trope. And like, oh, how the fuck didn't I realize that earlier in the movie?
Well, because all it is subversion of the classical like hills have eyes trope or wrong turn trope,
Yeah.
where the outsiders are in. They're not really invading; they just happen to stumble upon the area where these people happen to live, and so the same thing. Well, that's the same is true for, of course, the most infamous case, Jason. Crystal Lake. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the whole thing is Tucker and Dale go back to the cabin. The college kids try to sneak into the cabin for some reason, even though they already set the trap for Dale, essentially.
Yeah. So
and
it's Chad and Naomi sneak in, and they're trying to call up Allison, and she's like, "Why are you guys whispering? There's nobody here." And they both stand up and go, "Oh, okay."
and Tucker and Dale come in. This is just, to be fair, the whole beer on the bee
wounds.
stings made me like chuckle, but this thing is like, oh, it's like it's a thing for Tucker.
It's supposed to be as antiseptic. And what's great too is the fact that, like, as soon as they show up, they start that negotiation. But the first thing that Naomi says is the fact, like, "Oh, you're starting to fall in love with him." I read about this in my sociology class. It's called Stockholm syndrome. And it's like, this is such a classic college kid thing to say. Like, I did sociology 101. I believe I know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like,
and they gave Alan Tudyk
fucking dumb
another
kid.
great line too before he goes over and pours beer on his hand. Do you remember what he says? "Yeah, we'll all sit around and have some tea. I'll make finger sandwiches."
Finger sandwiches. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Like,
that's right.
That's so perfect.
Oh. So, before we do our second game of the night, Allison sits Dale and Chad down for a conversation, a therapy session, as kind of Chad tells again that story of why he is it's basically telling us, the audience, why he's being so maniacal, but it doesn't get to the point where we realize
the full, we don't get the full backstory until
we don't
the
get
very
the
end.
full backstory, but we get a little bit more of that little flashback that we got as a sort of a camp's scary story. And Dale is like, I don't know, I'm just a guy. It's like, it doesn't have a lot of things to say.
Well, they do have another setup and payoff here where, remember, Chad says, "Hey, is that tea or chamomile? I can't have it due to my
allergies." And he had that little,
because it was an inhaler,
inhaler,
which comes up later. But even after he says his entire spiel, Dale goes, "You know what? I do feel better. It feels like a weight has been lifted." And I'm sorry your family got massacred.
Yeah. And Dale doesn't really say anything. He just is like bumbling through it. He doesn't have any profound thing to say, but he's still like, "Oh, well, weight has been lifted." It's like, what weight? You didn't divulge anything. But of course, it's a therapy session, so whatever. And this whole time, what's the name of the black guy?
So we have Jason and Chloe here on the outside. They're sneaking.
They're on the outside, and they're looking into this therapy session, and they're like, what the hell is going on over here?
Are they having tea? Oh, I'd love a cup of tea right now.
Yeah. Like, how can you say that at a time like this?
Like, God damn it, woman!
All right, let's do our second game of the night. I'm gonna turn this off, turn this on. You can already see the pairing. Anyway, our next game is called Screen Fighter.
Round 1, fight.
Screen Fighter is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, both of them are good, both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in as we go to this? And we say to all the people in the chat participation is most welcome. Give us your movie. You don't have to explain it. We have to explain it. All my feelings, it is Corpse Bride or A Fish Called Wanda.
This is actually very easy for me.
Cool.
Fish Called Wanda.
Reason?
Because I don't like Tim Burton.
Oh, so you don't like Beetlejuice? Dare I
Beetlejuice,
say it?
No. Beetlejuice, I do appreciate, and his version of Batman. Those are the only two things that he's ever done that I've actually really appreciated.
Okay.
I fucking hated A Nightmare Before Christmas. My mom and I walked out of a showing of A Nightmare Before Christmas
Wow.
when I was a kid. Yeah.
Wow. A Fish Called Wanda is one of those movies where time has forgotten, but some of those like first time watching channels find at some point and they're blown away. Because it's a comedy, but it's sort of a weird comedy. It's a joint UK-US venture. It takes place in the UK. So it's a I'm going to say a weird movie. If I would have told you Guy Ritchie directed that movie, you wouldn't be surprised. It's not a Guy Ritchie movie.
No.
But if I would have said this is a Guy Ritchie movie, you wouldn't be surprised as a sort of a connoisseur of that.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Okay. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis and John Cleese and all out of a bunch of guys. It is fantastic. It is an unassuming comedy that is not out to make you laugh. It is just absurdly fun. Yeah. It is so good. I didn't particularly like Corpse Bride at all. I don't mind it. I don't particularly like it. Bewitched, the movie, or Ratatouille?
I don't think Bewitched needed to be made. Full stop.
I agree. Okay.
I actually genuinely enjoyed Ratatouille the first time I saw it.
Okay.
The first time. After that, got a little bit annoying, but I would still rather watch Ratatouille.
Okay. I didn't think is what's her face? The girl from Moulin Rouge. I forgot.
Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman. It's Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah, it's right there in the poster.
Oh, never mind. It's
Will Ferrell's also in it if you want to see, because it's right there in the poster.
Then yeah, I'm not gonna watch it because I don't like Will Ferrell, and I don't think Bewitched. And generally speaking, these old television shows, I don't think they needed a like a modern movie. I don't think the Addams Family movie, like the original one, I don't like it, and I don't think it was supposed to have. Like, I don't think they should have made it. Let's just say that. And I don't particularly like Pixar movies, but I would watch Ratatouille every day instead of Bewitched. Because
I would say too, I do think that Bewitched was started at the mid downfall in the 2005 of Will Ferrell, because he had that meteoric rise and then downturn and then back upturn when he started doing dramatic roles. It's like,
all right. All the President's Men or Jackie Brown?
Oh man,
that's a good Jackie Brown poster, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you know my opinions on Jackie Brown.
I know.
And I know your opinions because I think you fell asleep during it like, what, 3-4 times?
I fell asleep once in the theater while watching it. Oh, by the way, apparently I didn't skip a beat because I knew what was going on. As
Yeah,
soon as it
it's
happened.
very predictable. I think it's by far one of the most just exasperating.
I can even tell you the moment where I kind of drifted off and fell asleep. It's the moment where Samuel L. Jackson kills what's his
Marlon
face?
Wayans' character. Yeah.
No, not Marlon Wayans.
Oh,
Chris Tucker.
I thought that
He
was
kills Chris Tucker, and then I kind of
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking. I would still watch All the President's Men. I think it's a better movie, but
okay. People say Jackie Brown. I'm saying All the President's Men, so
sorry, Chad.
I'll get hate for that. Pacific Rim. That's the third time. That's the third time today I heard reference to Pacific Rim.
Really?
I have various stuff that I've listened to throughout the day. Weird. Or Weird Science.
Too fucking easy. Weird Science. Oh my god, that movie's
Weird
fantastic.
Science. Yeah, Lila Brock, right?
It's too much fun.
Yeah.
Also, oh come on.
Okay. The Inconvenient Truth, or you know what? I haven't seen Inconvenient Truth.
That's more of a documentary anyway, and this is even easier. It's The Mask. That's an easy. That's way too
Why?
easy.
Why is Slender Man not?
Because Slender Man's a terrible horror film. It's so bad.
Okay, I'm with you.
Hey, it's the movie I always forget.
Yeah. Melancholia.
Yes, chat. I
Or
always
Madagascar.
forget Melancholia. I always forget that.
Yeah. Right. You choose.
As much as I don't like Madagascar, God, I've seen Melancholia once and I never want to see it again.
Is it The Road kind of a movie?
No, it's worse. It's just a bad movie.
Oh.
But it's pretends to be
it.
like it's duller than it's duller than I think it's deep. I would Paul, I would agree with you there. I would watch neither, but we have to pick one.
Yeah. The whole point of this exercise, the whole point of this game is even that if they're really good, both of them, it's a hard choice. But if they're both like not necessarily bad, but I just don't want to see it, it's a sort of a different choice because you have to watch one of them. You have to. I'm gonna watch Madagascar. Not my favorite film. Again, it's not Pixar. I think it's DreamWorks.
I think it's DreamWorks, yeah.
It's meh.
Is Chris Rock a zebra in that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if that was the first or second one.
All right. The Land That Time Forgot or Cheaper by the Dozen.
Okay. Have you seen The Land That Time Forgot?
I have seen it.
I will watch that any day of the week because I love those old, like cheesy
Stop motion.
like it's to me that's my jam because I could just see Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's all I can think of.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Cheaper by the Dozen. I have seen it. Just if there's are any questions, I don't want to really see it again. It's a cheesy comedy built and written for Steve Martin because of Parenthood and because of Father of the Bride. It's the same vein,
Yeah.
but it's less. Let's just say it's less meaningful than Parenthood. Parenthood is actually a pretty fucking good movie. But let's say Father of the Bride has the same feel as Cheaper by the Dozen.
Is that Bonnie Hunt that's his wife?
It
in
is
that?
Bonnie Hunt, yeah. Bonnie Hunt, the guy from Smallville, Hillary Duff. Land in Time Forgotten. Even though it's really cheesy, kind of B horror movie B kind of a thing.
It's fun.
It's a remake, Cheaper by the Dozen, so it's a Disney movie, but it's basically typecast by Steve Martin, just because of those other movies. You know what? You watch it and it feels sort of like of the same vein as Father of the Bride or Parenthood. Just again, Parenthood is a little bit more deeper and darker than this. This is more lighthearted. Anyway, right. That's about it because we can go on and on and on.
Let's say the last one there, like Hollow
Forrest
Man,
Gump or Hollow Man.
Forrest Gump or Hollow Man.
Yeah.
I'm watching Hollow Man.
I'm watching Forrest Gump. Hollow Man is not good.
Forrest Gump just makes me sad.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the Jenny woman.
Yeah.
She
Jenny is the fucking worst. Jenny's the devil.
Jenny is the villain of Forrest Gump.
She is.
Paul Harley's like, I'm watching Bacon.
Yeah.
What, really?
I don't know why, because his character was already an asshole, but then he just became a weird psychotic rapist out of nowhere when he became invisible. Hollow Man's a weird fucking movie.
Like, she's not named Jenny, she's called
Jenny.
Johnny.
Thank you, Finn.
All right. So we had the intervention, and then of course, again, I forgot the name. It's Chloe and Jason.
Yes, that barge in.
So Jason comes in at the opportune moment and literally shaves Naomi's face
off. Yeah.
With a it's
like a
an
weed whacker.
electric scythe. That's what it's called. I know because I've used it because I was a gardener for a couple of years. That thing does not shave your face off. As soon as it's stuck with never mind.
Well, it's the same thing in the States. We call that a weed whacker. It's the same thing.
A weed whacker, yeah.
It'll just cut down weed because it's basically just an enhanced bit of basically plastic that just whirs around.
Yeah, it's a nylon string. Literally, when it starts going off and it touches your face, it will hurt and it will leave a significant mark. I'm not sure it's going to leave like a full face off.
It wouldn't cut, but no, it would definitely dig into your flesh, but it would hit resistance and it would hit your cheekbone and stop.
Yeah, kind of. It's not fun. Let's just say that. I took one in the leg and it's not fun.
So are you saying you used to be a gardener until you took a weed whacker to the knee?
No. The hell you Finn, I don't know where you're from. We call them whippersnappers. I think we call whippersnappers something else, but thank you.
She's from Australia.
Oh, it fits.
Yeah. We know a couple of Aussies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It fits.
It fits. So it kind of starts this chain of events where Tucker and I'm on this. Thank you. So I was literally trying to go forward as Chad kind of goes before Jason pops in. Chad goes crazy and he starts getting the gas,
and starts to
getting the gas and pouring it all over the room. Right?
Yeah, because he had done that before. Tucker.
Oh, he did that before. Yeah, before Tucker and Dale came in. But I was like, okay, if he pours gas or gasoline into this room,
gasoline,
blow up. This room's gonna blow up on somebody's face. The thing is, once Jason comes in, he gets Noma's face off. He gets fucking burned. And Chloe tries to help, and she pours a turpentine, which again, a setup and payoff.
Well, because again, even I do believe it was Tucker goes, no, don't use that.
No, but as Chad walks in, gets into the room, he sees the little containers that says turpentine on them. So you're already there with.
And then they have that
gets burned up.
Yeah. Then they had that thing in the corner too. That's all those things of gas goes. Yeah, we probably should have moved those.
Yeah, we probably should have moved those.
Well, and also the thing is when they set Jason on fire, when he falls over, oh my God, he's crackling like a log.
And I was like, that's a bit insensitive.
Insensitive. And then Chloe's just sitting down. She's freaking out, so she's trying to light a cigarette, and that's when the whole thing just blows up.
Yeah, it just blows up.
Well, except for the one bit where Naomi grabs onto Chad's leg, trying to get out. It's like, what did he say? Let go of me, you nasty bitch. It's
Yeah.
like, Jesus, man.
Yeah. And of course, Tucker and Dale get out, and as they go into the truck, and Tucker says to Dale, "It's like, this is the only thing I've got left."
Yeah, be careful with this. It's the only thing I got left. The only thing too was Allison goes, "I'm a terrible therapist."
Yeah, I'm a terrible therapist.
It's like, don't worry. Like, hey, maybe we could talk to him. He'll be fine. And then Chad walks out just with his face half burned, holding the hatchet and screaming. Goes like, "No, we should go.
Yeah, we should definitely
We
go.
should go."
And as they drive off, and that moment where Dale is kind of being distracted, I knew this was coming. And I was like, I'm waiting for the leaf on the wind. I'm waiting for the leaf on the wind. And it got slammed. I was like, oh shit. Alan Tudyk got smacked again, but he actually survived. So like, Dale wakes up.
Because
Allison's
Jangles
not
is licking
there,
his face.
and Tucker's on the outside. He's holding his stomach or something.
Yeah, when he holds his like, that hurt real bad.
Yeah.
And also the thing is like, he says, no, you need to go save her. You're not as ugly as you think you are.
Yeah. And this is the moment where I was like, I'm waiting for something else to happen, but it didn't really happen. So Dale kind of gets off and goes after Allison. And for some reason, it's morning.
Tucker tells him, just do me a favor, kick the shit out of that college kid. I'm going to shove my boot down his fucking throat. He's like, well, how am I going to find him? Just follow Jangles.
Yeah, follow Jangles. And Jangles gets to this, obviously, another type of weird cabin. It's like
a lumber mill.
It's a logging mill, but
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a weird cabin. And when Allison is tied in and there's the big circular saw, it's like, oh, it's the logging camp. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And then we have sort of like Dale is trying to save Allison, so he has that.
He literally has the fucking, he has a gearing up montage.
Yes, he has the gearing up montage, right?
Because every movie needs a montage.
He has that little thing where he just comes in, he puts the logging claw on, he has the gloves, he has the chainsaw. and
He goes, oh, don't worry, it's just me. Looks pretty intimidating though, doesn't it? Yeah.
This whole bit. And when he approaches Allison, because apparently he was waiting for a fight, but nothing happened. It's like, oh, yeah. And he tries to cut her loose, and it doesn't really happen.
He's trying to untie the knot.
This was supremely stupid. And of course, because she's tied in and because we saw the circular saw, we have to have the moment where
it's a Snidely Whiplash girl tie to the train tracks.
It's that trope again, as both half-faced Chad and Dale kind of have it on. And
side note, the makeup department did a phenomenal job in this movie.
Oh, with what
for
they
their
have?
limited budget, it's really fucking good.
Now, to me, and to if you've never seen a lot of movies, you're here and there, or let's say you're slightly younger than us or a lot younger than us, and you haven't seen everything there is to offer. This next scene wouldn't mean anything to you. But when I saw this, it's not really a scene. It's a moment in the Dale and Chad fight where I was like, this director or whoever did this scene knows his films.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last action hero axe throw.
Yep.
Exactly.
It is 100% that. Yep.
And you knew I would have picked that up.
Yep.
Because this is so well done. It's like well made thing. I don't know how they did it. They probably didn't have CGI, so I don't know how they did this. Green screen throw. I don't know how they did this because you can see it's the axe is not really there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, movie
They
magic.
were also going to mock it originally because when this was being filmed, it was just at the tail end where 3D was fading out, and they were going to make it so like this was going to be the only scene that was quote unquote in 3D
Oh, okay.
as a lark. Yeah.
If you don't, we'll enrich your knowledge. There were lots of movies that were at the time, so mid aughts, right?
Mid to late aughts, like
Mid to late aughts,
early tens was when it really fell off hard.
Yeah, where they kind of advertised that this movie is 3D, but the only 3D moment was like a moment. It really didn't have to be at the end. Sometimes in the middle, and it was very short. And you were sitting down in the theater with your fucking 3D glasses, and you were waiting for that like moment, and it was there and gone for a minute, like a minute. Like, really?
I'm thinking probably the worst offender of that. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong because you've probably seen it. My Bloody Valentine 3D. I think it only had 2 scenes in the entire movie. And one was like where a pickaxe went toward the screen, and I think that was like about it. It was bad.
I think Piranha 3D had like 2.
I'm sorry, no, there was 3 double D. Get it right.
Sorry, I think Piranha 3 Double D had 2 moments where they had like 3D moments, but that is it.
Yeah,
Right?
That's terrible.
I think so. Again, guys, comment section or live audience, correct us if we're making a mistake. Right. So
we do have this, but we do have the horror trope right before there, which is perfect. Never go upstairs.
Oh, never go upstairs.
You're trapping no, never go upstairs.
Exactly. Yeah, even Paul is like, I don't remember. It's probably a pickaxe or whatever. And of course, the moment where they go upstairs and he throws a chamomile tea.
Because he finds the thing of tea while Allison discovers the newspaper with basically was like, who does this look like? Oh, it's Chad's dad, the actual dad.
His actual dad. And we have sort of a resolution of what actually happened in that story of the Memorial Day massacre. As Chad,
Dale's, stop! You're half hillbilly. Look.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't believe it, and I don't care. And of course,
because everything's a lie, and then he throws the tea in his face and goes, he actually gives the ingredient, goes, because it can cause anaphylaxis. She's like, I told you, my brain works weird.
Yeah. And of course, the trope of the reporter, right? You have to have that reporter coming in, telling us everything to do with the story, where she gets it completely wrong. Of course. And then stuff kind of resolved as Dale comes in with this obvious bowling shirt. And I was like, I was waiting for it to pay off. And then it did.
Yeah.
Where he goes to Dale and is like, got this thing.
I got something for you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a beer. And he opens up and goes, I even got your favorite drinking implement.
Yeah. And this is that set up and payoff from the fishing boat all the way down to the fish boat. And he got him the straw as well. Yeah. So he can drink it because he's so hurt in the right.
Well, and he holds up his hands and his ring finger is Chloe's.
Yeah.
This one looks kind of weird because it actually still has the painted nail on it.
Yeah. It's like, are you sure it's okay? Yes, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. And just like, did you ask her out on a date? It's like,
well, I was gonna.
I was gonna. But then, of course, the reveal is he He's literally he's on
Well,
the
she says, well, she said she likes to go bowling, so that's what we're gonna do. And
Yep.
and then his friend,
Yeah. Like, be
his friend
yourself.
who is the crazy hillbilly. His friend is the crazy hillbilly. He was like,
Like,
you
be
just gotta
yourself and
go there.
smile.
Tail. Just go there
So
and
what he
beat your
does, he
tail.
goes in and he hits her over the head and he carries her out.
Well, and also the conversation too between Allison and Dale, which is like, is this a bit? Well, he gives her the helmet.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it was great, except for the people dying and the blood all over us, and and as soon as his friend ends up knocking that girl out and starts dragging her off after Allison kisses him,
Yeah.
should we help him?
Yeah. Should we
Hell
help?
no, hell no. Learn our lesson. Not helping. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Help once, never again.
Never again. All right, which brings us to the end because again, it's a short movie.
But the short movie, if you were just watching it directly from opening to the beginning of the end credits, it's 82 and a half minutes. Super nuts. Very quick.
Yeah, very quick. And again, it also passes really quickly. You're going from scene to scene to scene and it's kind of over. A fun watch was my first watch. I wasn't supposed to watch it just today. I was supposed to watch it yesterday, but again, I told you this. IRL kind of stepped in, and it was pretty freaking crazy. But I'm glad I watched it. Thank you for making me. You didn't make me, but thank you for making me watch this because it's one of those movies where I would probably not go through my entire life and not watch it because it's not really my thing. But I love the fact that they got the horror genre, turned it on its head, made it funny, made you expect one thing, delivered something completely different in terms of both the characters and the actual story and the tropes that were like, okay, this trope, this, turn it around. And as I mentioned about watching this with my kids and then just like realizing that, nah,
not yet.
It's not like they can't handle it. They can, but because they don't understand the tropes, they wouldn't find it funny. And this is probably my only gripe with the movie. If you're not a horror genre fan, you wouldn't pick up on these subtle things that they put out there, which made it elevate from like a 7 out of 10 to a 8. That's where I come from. That's my summary of this movie. Is like, this movie is fun. It's stupid. When I say stupid, I don't mean it's dull or badly written. It is very well written, well directed, well acted. But the tropes that they had, if you're not into the horror genre, it will go over your head and it will ultimately take away from your enjoyment of the movie. Where, again, if I haven't the last year plus, haven't gone through this thing where I force myself to go out of my own, stay out of my comfort zone and literally go out and try something new, I wouldn't know about these tropes. I wouldn't, they wouldn't talk to me the same way they talk to you, where you're like a horror movie, like aficionado.
I'm a big fan of the show.
Okay.
And I would say too, this is why I'm kind of glad that we actually had this. It was actually supposed to be one of those that was slated on last October's list because we were doing more kind of wacky horrors. And that was going to be on the list. And I'm like, we kind of moved it off because I wasn't going to be there for 1 week. So I think you did Seed of Chucky then, I think it was.
Don't remember. No, Seed of Chucky, you were here with me and Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
But anyway, it was one of those weeks, but it was like, I don't know if he'll quite really get it yet. But once you went through that entire 31 for 31.
Yeah.
And especially once you said, I really, really enjoy Cabin in the Woods. I'm like, well, I have to put this on here. And I didn't know where else it would fit.
Yeah. And we'll get a chance to talk about Cabin in the Woods. It's very, very
soon.
Very soon. All right, cool. Anything else to add about specifically this movie? If not,
I would just say overall, again, very short watch. If you've got the time, watch it. In the States, I rented it on Amazon for 99 cents.
Cool.
So
Cool. Awesome. I actually had it on my Netflix a month and a half ago,
yeah.
but I was in the States at the time. I was
Gotcha.
literally going to watch it on Netflix. I thought it would be there when I came back from my vacation, and they took it off because it's, they
Well,
add
also
stuff, take stuff off, all the time.
Well, and the only reason why I watched it that version is because the Blu-ray version has like a couple more minutes of footage, and I didn't know if it was gonna ruin anything. And I was like,
Yeah,
actually, when I watched the theatrical cut again, like it really didn't add anything much. There was an extra little bit of backstory that you get in the different cut, but that's not here nor there.
Okay. That's no issue. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. Hope you enjoy yourselves. I really did. Right. Cool. In Australia, it's free to stream on Stan. I'm guessing Stan is one of I don't have like cable TV. I have a internet provider that gives me like a streaming service. So sometimes it comes up on the free movie channel that has like really bad like movies that people don't really want to see. So Stan, I'm guessing Stan is one of those things on.
Well, that or it could be one of those random streaming services like Freebie or
Like Freebie or
Tubi or something like that for in Australia. But yeah, no,
Right.
it's great though.
If you are in Australia and you are watching up to this point and you have Stan, go watch.
First of all, thank you for staying up. But
For sure. Or you're watching on the replay. Doesn't matter to us. It's all gravy, baby. All right. Next week, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, next week is going to be something special because my birthday actually falls on a show, on a podcast. Usually it doesn't really fit, but this time around, you're gonna help me celebrate with a fantastic movie, one of my top 20 movies of all time. It is As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, and Greg Kinnear. The only movie I can tolerate Greg Kinnear in.
What, you don't like Stuck on You?
No. No, I do not. No, I don't like Greg Kinnear in it. I actually like Matt Damon.
In it. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, homework for next week. Go watch As Good as It Gets, and please come over with some awesome mood because it's my 45th birthday.
Could you say that this one is going to be as good as it gets?
It's going to be as good as it could possibly get. So go watch it As Good as It Gets for the first time or for the 70th time, like I'm going to watch it. And we'll see you then. And we'll maybe have a cake and somebody's going to sing me a birthday. And it's not going to be Oh My Feelings.
Nope.
We have a special guest, obviously. We weren't supposed to have a special guest, but we do now.
Okay.
And she actually really likes the movie. So
Good.
We'll see. Until then, we are going to be redirecting you to Tom's birthday stream over on Midnight's Edge. So stay here, like the show if you like, and we'll see you next week. There. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.